So let's discuss a little bit more what happened with us during our meetup rendezvous in New York. As you know, we've been at the matchmaking conference and we met with our clients, and Striker gave them a task to write on a little pieces of paper like their fears and concerns about dating nowadays.
Yeah.
And so
this is part 2, so I'll put a link up here to part 1. So we'll be answered some of the questions.
We have some more. Just go ahead and pick the question.
These are genuine fears from guys that are actually doing this process of meeting a woman from Eastern Europe. So these are real ones, not just comments down below that say that every
we
woman is a gold digger.
We brought these papers from.
Every woman is a gold digger and she's in Poland.
Dancing on the table.
Dancing on the table.
Okay, different cultural background, maybe food preferences, but communication will help, I think. He
asked the question and then he answered it.
Because of the girl. Like, we had one lady during our meetup and she put this question, different cultural background, maybe food preferences. And then she said, like, but communication will help, I think.
So this is more advice than a question. Advice. So this was written by Ludmila.
Ludmila, yeah. So we had one lady there. She was worried, her concerns was like that Ukrainian food is different and, Western guys are eating this frozen food and they like...
Food with taste.
Ha, 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 ha. And like she wants to make borscht for him, hot and heavy, she wants to like be creative in kitchen. But she was worried that the guys will not get it. But I think the guys were just like, just cook for me, I will be...
Most guys, I've never actually spoken to anyone that goes, I don't like Ukraine. I'm the only
You're
person.
the only one.
I'm the only person. I don't say I don't like it. In fact, that restaurant we take our clients to when they come into town is actually pretty good. I actually quite like that. But maybe it's because it's made in Spain, not in Ukraine. Maybe the water's different, or maybe they use less salt in the potatoes. So anyway, did we answer the question or not?
I mean, this is a concern that the lady has, and I think that we've done a video where we say just encourage a woman, like, if you're gonna eat borscht like you do, then she will never make you borscht again.
Good.
And even mom stop making borscht for you. But actually made solянka. I wanted to try because it's a lot of meat. But anyway, so you have to encourage her, because if you will not, like we've done this video, if you're not going to encourage her, she will stop doing that and you will think, oh, is she Westernized? Like she's not cooking for me, she's not doing that. So if you want to a little bit adjust something during cooking, if you want to add some spices or something, just do it. Add some Tabasco, on the top and everything going to be fine.
Right. So, there will be cultural differences, but isn't that the reason why you're doing this in the first place? So I'm sort of saying this, I keep forgetting that a woman wrote this, but let's pretend a man wrote this, because we have heard this stuff before.
Same.
So there are going to be cultural differences, but that's the cool thing about it. You're dating in another culture, so you've got to expect there's going to be differences, both for you and for her as well. So it's part of the adventure. You're trying something new, like guys that I like to travel and go to random countries and eat the random food that's there and do the random things. And that's because it's different, right? So the guys that are doing this, they want something different. If they didn't, they would just date some woman from the West. And so embrace it. And yes, you will have differences and she will get angry and you may get frustrated, but that's part of it.
But communicate about this. Okay, next one. I invite you to come and meet in Chicago in person. October 11th, me and Striker are going to Chicago to meet with you and answer all of your questions. We're going to have a little bit of a coaching session there, Ukrainian lunch, and we'll talk about modern dating and we'll help you to get to understand Slavic mind a little bit better. To get more information, link in the description.
Ending up with the wrong woman and getting divorced, especially if we have kids. Okay, that's a legit one, because that guy, whoever, I don't know who wrote that, but that guy may have gone through it. So this is a concern regardless of whatever country you are in, unless it's maybe some arranged marriage where if you get divorced, they cut your hands off or something. This is absolutely a fear that every man should have. And the problem is that when men get married, they don't have this fear, right? So they get comfortable in the relationship. Maybe they let themselves go a bit. They stop noticing things. They stop worrying too much if she's satisfied in the relationship, whether it's emotionally or physically, sexually, whatever it is. And they let it drift apart. And then when the relationship ends, they go, I worked so hard. And then one day she just told me that she left. Well, who did I have this conversation with the other day? I think I was talking about it at the event. Where it's
you've been talking about all of these questions at the event.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. But yeah, so you should be aware of that. I think when men go through a traumatic relationship experience, like a breakup or a divorce or something like that, we should all be able to look back and go, you know, maybe I did work too much, even though that was the thing that attracted her to you in the first place. But maybe I did work too much, and maybe I wasn't as considerate, and maybe I didn't sort of care too much about what she wanted, and I was more concerned about, building this lifestyle or whatever it is. We can all look at back and go and said, I didn't know shit about relationships, because then what happens is after the relationship, you start Googling stuff and you find out that a whole heap of other men in this echo chamber have been through the same thing. And you go, yes, it wasn't my fault, it's the woman's fault. If you want to take a more mature way to look at this, as a man that has grown because of a traumatic experience, you should be able to look within yourself and say, yeah, I sucked. I sucked at relationships. I really did. But now I'm better, right? Now I understand that it does take work. And if you can't look at yourself and say it was my fault, even though maybe it wasn't 100% your fault, but if you can't take responsibility for what you can do, you can't take responsibility for anybody else, okay? So make better decisions, vet the woman better,
And never stop dating. Like we always say that, right? Like when you're in a relationship, like just pay attention at details. Like people take it for granted. After some years, like 1 year is great, 2 years are great, 5 years, like okay, then 10 years, just like I'm not closing the door to the toilet, or not like giving your compliment, or not traveling together, or not like having like a date nights. That's it. Like why would she stay, or why would you stay? Because like for guys, maybe it's comfortable. Yes, he's coming home. Everything is there. But for she will want something else. So it's completely up to you. And I don't know any single woman that really left a man from a relationship that been perfect. I mean, maybe according to the guy, he would say, oh, it's been a good relationship. But if you'd ask to her honestly, like talk to her, and she would say, no, it wasn't, like this, this, and this.
Yeah, a woman doesn't leave, like I've said this before, and I've had a bit of hate in the comments where I say, a woman doesn't leave a good man. And when I'm saying a good man, I mean like the relationship is good. They have good communication. And he understands her, they listen, there's communication, all that sort of stuff. And she's being satisfied emotionally and physically, right? Because that's why she would go somewhere else. And so you have to look at it and go, yeah, this is the most healthiest fear that you can have. If you don't have this, you're going blindly into a relationship, And there are some men that this fear is so bad that they won't do anything at all. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Some men have a fear of, mountain climbing. Because they may fall and they're not ever going to do it. Some men have that fear, and that's the thing that stops them from falling off the mountain. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's it. I mean, yeah, it's a real fear. Be sensible. Next one.
Let me read. Political conflicts, beliefs, propaganda, girls over expectation, financial lifestyle, homesickness, girls wanting to go back home. It's like 5 questions. But first one, political, like we hear it.
We get this. We had it yesterday on a call.
Probably every call. The guy. I know that political situation in the United States at the moment is a little bit like hot, I would say. But one thing that you need to know about Ukrainians is that we are not political. Honestly, especially girls. I remember like my uncle, like he was coming and he was talking about like some political, and my family was all look at him like, what are you talking about? So yes, now it's a war in Ukraine, but according to like political parties, political, different states, different taxes, Ukrainian lady, she doesn't know about that. She doesn't know, and she doesn't really get involved. And if you want her to support your party, trust me, she will, because you will tell her, I vote for this party because they are awesome. She will support it. She doesn't care. She doesn't see the difference. She will not argue with you. Because to be honest, we had one call with a lady who lives in the United States already for 20 years. And she'd been married before. And so during the call, it was like during election times. And I was shocked. Like she was really talking with a guy like the same level, and they had a different opinion, and that was absolutely shocking. And I told her that, unfortunately I can't work with you anymore because like you will just like scare off all the guys. That happened to her. She lived there for 20 years. She's divorced, she's very harsh, but in general, like I never ever have it before. Never, right? Like any girl, like we don't talk about this. We talk about perfumes, we talk about flowers. We're stupid.
If you put in the context, right? So in Ukraine, like when it comes to voting, like they understand, like they're fully aware of the corruption that is there. They don't care if they vote for this person because does it even matter? And if this person, they could just change their mind and change all their policies because now they're in, are they pro this? Are they pro that? They don't care. And I remember, I don't know if it was you that told me this or somebody else, but when they were voting for, I guess it's like the mayor of Odessa, and the reason that people decided to vote for him was because he also owned a roading contracting company They knew that it's so corrupt that he would take
Yeah.
the money from the government and give it to his own company, but at least
But
they'll
at
fix
least-
the at least they'll fix the road.
And it
So-
happened. It happened.
Yeah, it did happen. So and so that's how they're voting. They're thinking this is so corrupt. How can I just get something like get the roads fixed? Like, and it's only going to happen through corruption. So they don't care. They don't understand about the whole this Democrat Republican thing. So you're not going to have any political conflicts because she'll just say, okay, I like Donald Trump. Okay.
Or I don't, you know.
I don't. Okay. What is it? It says
So,
girls'
girls'
expectation
expectations
on...
of financial lifestyle.
Okay, that's a good one. So the girl's expectation on financial lifestyle. You will date a woman that is like kind of equal, I guess you could call it. Not equal in how much you make, but her expectations and what you have on offer. And again, like the other question, you will pick this out. If you're using a matchmaker, we will sort this out for you. But if you're not going to be dating a woman that has this high-end lifestyle, but she's kept it secret from you because she doesn't want to tell you because she knows that right now you can't afford it. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
She will be pretty straight.
She will be testing the shit out of you. So that's why it's important actually that you don't pretend that you have this lifestyle, because then she will test it and now you have to live up to it. Otherwise she's going to say, oh, he doesn't have any money, and you're going to say, oh, she's a gold digger. Okay? So,
Absolutely.
All right, so next one.
And girls wanting to go back home.
Yeah.
Homesickness.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Every single girl, when she came to US, she go to the stages of grief, right? Like she go to like, oh wow, I'm in US, everything is so awesome. And then it going like really, really deep. Depends on the guy, of course. And we always like, we have another video about that, like what to do. And we advise that to the guys, you know, keep her busy and etc. etc. But she will start finding that, you know, she missed the food from Ukraine. She missed that like sour cream that she was putting in her soup. She missed these tomatoes, these pickles, these cucumbers.
Also the ability to just
the
do
ability
things.
to do things, like because she needs to drive now everywhere. Like, and she will definitely have it. And everything depends only on you. You know, how will you deal with that? Because when we came from Ukraine to Spain, you know, I was like really like frustrated and I didn't know what's happening and what we're doing. And of course, it's affect like work and relationship and communication. And so the other person can only choose like either get frustrated with the frustrated person or be more mature, like step above that and say, I understand. Like you are frustrated. The most important thing is do not tell her, I understand you're frustrated. You just understand inside. Because if you tell her, oh, I understand that you're sad, like it's going to piss her off even more, right? Mm-hmm. You have to be mature in understanding, okay, she's going through this. How would I feel if I moved to that place? You know, how did you feel when you just moved to Ukraine and when you relocate to one apartment that has nothing around, remember?
Yeah, yeah. So I had my first experience of, what do you call it?
Culture shock.
Culture shock. So I always thought that culture shock was, okay, I won't like the food or the music, I don't like the music or whatever. But it wasn't. I moved into this other apartment. It was a little bit further away from the city centre, and I decided to go for a walk. And I went for a walk and I didn't really know where I was going, and I was looking at maps. Then I found a supermarket and I bought like some groceries, thinking I'll go out, call my taxi and then get home. But my phone stopped working, the Wi-Fi stopped. I had these groceries, it was now nighttime. I had no idea how I got there or which way to get back home. I knew it was probably about a 45-minute walk. So I was thinking, I'm just gonna have to like leave these groceries here because I can't carry them, they were too heavy. App wasn't working, and it was just, I can't even remember how I resolved. I think my phone started working, and I got back home and I called Luba and I said, I've just experienced culture shock. And it wasn't about the food or anything. It was the inability to do what I would normally do in my own country with ease.
Yeah,
you know, I couldn't speak to anyone. I didn't know any Russian then. It was just
I felt it
horrible.
in UK because like I was living there for some time and I felt completely like, oh my God, I don't even understand how to get taxi. Like I'm the person who always arranging stuff, understanding, and I was not in London or big city. It was a very small city and it was shocking. And so you just need to understand her and think about yourself. How would you be in that situation? And if you're helping and understanding her and you encourage her, because nowadays, you know, like if I compare me start working 15 years ago and now opportunities are limitless, because no matter which state you go, there's always a Ukrainian shop. There's always Ukrainian community, there's always Ukrainian restaurant. All you need to do is to put her in a nice spot so she will feel like home. And there's a lot of like girls who meeting together to sing some songs, to dress like this Ukrainian clothes, and she will not feel homesick. Will she miss her relatives? Of course, but again, even comparing with 15 years ago when we was writing letters in internet cafe, now it's like, you know, Skype, Viber all the time. You're cooking, you're singing with your mother, and doesn't matter. And here, like, you know, I want to take the like this one other question that we will discuss in this it's kind of like becoming westernized. You know, it's a fear of our other guy, and we heard it also many times.
We've done videos on this, a couple of videos, I think.
So if you worry that she will become westernized, not let it happen. Like, again, going back to the video of training the woman, like now you have ability, before she came to your country, you, no matter it's America, Canada, Australia, you know, UK, you find that Ukrainian community for her, you find that Ukrainian church for her, you find this Ukrainian shop, you find this Ukrainian food, and like that's it. Like she's feeling home. We have a guy now who is dating a lady, and she's from Ukraine, but she lives in Spain. He lives in San Marino, and she came there. And yesterday he sent me a picture, like, and it says something in Ukrainian. And San Marino, like, it's pretty tiny place. And I said, really? Like, is it Ukrainian restaurant there? He said, like 35 minutes away. So he found it, and like they had a great experience, and you know she was feeling like home. So everything is doable if you are creative.
On this one here, becoming westernized, I'm very passionate about this one because I understand profoundly that a woman becomes westernized because of men, right? You see this all the time in all of these channels in the comments. It'll say she's just going to become westernized. They don't understand the influence that a man can have on a woman, right? So, and it's all about this. If you treat her like a Western woman, she will be a Western woman, right?
Yes.
If you say, oh, it's too expensive to get your hair and your nails done, she will become a Western woman, okay? So you've picked up a beautiful Ukrainian woman who hasn't been corrupted, or you know, she still has some of those values and beauty that Ukrainian women actually value themselves. So you need to encourage that. And, you know, some guys may think that, well, it's the people she hangs around with. She doesn't know anyone when she gets there, and she starts hanging around with the wrong people, then you need to be the one that's going to protect her from that. And if your friends are those wrong people, then you need to look at your own social circle as well. So becoming westernized is so easy to control.
Absolutely.
From the man. She's looking to you for leadership. And if you can't lead her and she goes astray, she becomes westernized, it is your fault.
On this very positive note, very positive note, we thank you for watching this video. Join our Telegram community, the link in description below. There we can discuss more, and we see you in the next one.
See ya.